And greetings from California. So, we had our first night of Vanderpump Rules, and it was an intro episode because they delivered like dominoes last year. It's okay. It's all right. We're gonna, it's gonna be okay. But I feel like they could have waited till Tom Sandoval got back from his filming so we could have seen him. It was a very Schwartz-centric episode. We were catching up with the heifers. And how did you feel about seeing everybody? Was it good to have the gang back together?
You know, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of felt fake as hell in some ways. Yes and no. I enjoyed seeing, I live in Long Beach. I literally know West Hollywood quite well. Fortunately and unfortunately. So, you can't deny they've got some great shots and all that, but like, I don't know. This was definitely an intro episode.
Really was.
Yeah.
To your point of it feeling fake as hell, do you think that, like you've mentioned, the level of professional reality star that these people have, they've now gone from a C plus, B minus list Bravo show to Emmy winners? And now they realize we got Bravo on our back. We beat the Housewives. They've elevated to a housewife level of stardom where now they are Bravo darlings, where now they're getting, commercial deals and things that were really only reserved for the housewives, that upper Bravo echelon.
Yeah. Well, here's the question. I really want to see if they can hold it this season because I've watched from the jump. The older ones are in my age range, right? And it's honestly when you need to start growing out of these shenanigans, Tom Sandoval being one of the elderly in the group. But I want to see if they can hold it because they are professionals, which is why they're all interacting now. But I want to see what they do with it. Do you know what I mean? Because like I feel like we had lightning in a bottle last season a little bit, and I want to see if they can hold it this season. I have my doubts, my doots.
Because it is going to be a delicate dance as to how to navigate this.
Yes.
Because if they do it right, it's an interesting story of what's Whitney's favorite word? Healing. Healing. Healing.
Yes.
But if they do it wrong, it's going to be missed opportunity that pisses the fans off.
And you're very right, because this group has survived atrocious infidelities before. Never a full-on affair in our face for like 9 months, like a dastardly betrayal lie like this, but they've had some really, really effed up cheating and they've treated each other horribly. It's kind of the nature of the beast. They really do represent a bunch of like coworker friend working professionals in the entertainment industry in LA. That's part of the reason that I like the show so much, is they really do reflect what it's like to be a working professional in the entertainment industry. And you very well could be friends with people that have done you super dirty because of your connections. You know what I mean? But like, I feel some fake as hellness movements happening that I do not like. One of them being Lala calling Raquel. That was purely like, we don't know if Raquel's coming back, so we're going to set it up to maybe still have her. There's absolutely no way Lala voluntarily, like, that's scrambling for a storyline.
I was going to say, I think she did. I think that she did agree to call Raquel, because what else does Lala have going on except being angry at her ex about the custody? Like,
Right.
and now that's settled. So like you can't have your daughter on the show.
Mm-mm.
So that's
That's
not a
not
plot
even
line.
settled. That's not settled, but it's still wages on. But she can't have, like you said, she can't have her kid on the show.
So to me that's not interesting, and I feel like what else does she have? But let me go on and try to bring Raquel back in the fold, and that way I can try to wash some of the stank of Huzzy off me too. She's trying to absolve herself for her Huzzy ways
Yes, a
and home
redemption
wrecking
arc.
habits.
A redemption arc.
And also, now that she knows that Rocky is in the loony bin, I know that's not an appropriate term, the crazy house. Now that but y'all drove her there. Y'all put her in the back seat. You teased and taunted her, and then we're so beyond cruel to her this entire season. And Tom, now you want to try Ariana is still on her I'm a scorned woman. And I'm also like, girl, you wasn't having sex with that man. And you wasn't having sex with him for years. How long did you think that was going to go on? And how did you think it was going to end? There's a level of girl, please. This was a showmance, and I don't really consider it cheating when it's a showmance, when you're together for the show, when you're roommates.
Yeah, I think, well, and I mean, as everybody knows who watched, he wasn't fully broken up with Kristen when he got together with Ariana. So this is Tom's MO. He gets with someone before the ink is dry on the last relationship because he's a coward.
Right. And it's like, that's how some people move. But you also, as you ain't no spring chicken either. But you knew this you when you were like, I'm not having sex with you. Your idea of fun isn't my idea of fun. You knew the shit was over. You were staying with him for a storyline. So you got what you asked for, a storyline. I can't sit here and feel sorry for her. I can't. I'm sorry. You stayed in a relationship for the show, not because you love that man, for the show. If it had not been for the show, y'all never would have moved in together.
I do agree with you 100% that it turned into a showmance that they were both invested in. I do. Like, I'm not saying that there weren't some real feelings there or whatever, but what I am saying is that I believe the primary motivating factor at the time of the affair, when all that went down, was that they were a couple. They had a certain level of moral superiority over everybody else. Tom was always managed to get a likable storyline for the most part and stay out of the drama as far as you know, the slimy sleazy stuff because he was with Ariana. I think the level that he went to try to scheme with Rocky, I love that nickname, to get out of any sort of accountability, the way that he tried to coach her into like easing up so that they didn't look so bad so they could like start the next season together is very diabolical and does show his shittiness. But
Does it
I
show his
also
city? Wait, hold on. Does it show his shittiness, or was he trying to keep a check for everybody? Because you see, this is when the issue of paychecks and plot lines come into play in relationships. Where
mm-hmm.
if this was a real, regular, degular relationship, it would not be this serious because they
Agreed.
wouldn't have
Yeah.
even moved in together. But I could see him. I'm playing devil's advocate. Oh my goodness. I could see him also being like, look, I don't want you to get put off the show this way and have everybody hate you. I've been doing this reality show thing longer than you. Let me teach you how to play it.
And I will agree if you look at the history of the show and what each person has done, because every one of those men on that show, uh, the main characters that is, not the husbands in high heels, um, they have cheated at various levels of dastardliness. So this is par for the course. So I do genuinely think that Tom thought because of the way that Jax had cheated, like a total like ooh. because of the way that Tom Schwartz has cheated on Katie a lot. He will get blackout drunk and make out with anybody. She's had to forgive him after they got married, making out with people. And I know it's not the same as like sleeping with someone, but my husband can't be kissing on people. Like, we can't have a fight and you get blackout and make out with, like, groupies at your bar. So,
Yeah, because that leads to other things. Like that's when I feel like it's much more of an emotional affair.
yeah. And you're not supposed to be just kissing random people once you're married, you
Once you're
know?
married.
Yeah. I mean, he's so they have all done really messed up things, and because of the show, they've all had to get on with it. Not only did Jax cheat on Brittany in a horrible way, he also cheated on Stassi back in the day in a horrible way. He got a stripper from Vegas pregnant. um, and was trying to cover that up. So this is not the first tasteless escandalo that we've seen on this show. This is kind of how they're built. And that's kind of honestly the trashy ass people that you see in LA, especially those with pretty privilege and that are slightly connected and doing something. You know what I mean? Like the challenge people, the bachelor people, the VanderPump rules people, and now we can throw in some of the other lower level, like Love is Blind, Married at First Sight. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, these people are all out here circulating, doing all kinds of crazy things.
Yes, they are. I I think I'm not mad. I look back and I'm like, I'm not mad at the episode. It's a good calm before the storm. Oh God, James. Now I hate that this is moving James to center square where he
I
has been
know.
itching to be. One,
I know.
like I this is when I want to talk to the Lord. This is when I want to talk to Sister Jesus. And I want to ask her, I want to say, Sister Jesus, either make the man a cigarette or make the man a non-cigarette. I don't know. This in between he has where I'm like, I really have to believe you're heterosexual. And I know British. And I'm like, honey, you are a West Hollywood bottom if I've ever seen one. You give me steam room and steam works. But we gotta believe he's a heterosexual. And I mean, I just
No, we don't. No, we don't.
and the thing is, like, I know they're out there. I've met men with bottom face that are, hetero, 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 hetero. And I don't live your life. I am not in your body. So if that's really what you believe, and if you can get them girls to believe it, child, go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen, that girlfriend is keeping him as contained as it is possible to keep that little whippersnapper contained, because she has an agenda. She wants to secure a place on this show, whether she is or isn't with James, which is something a lot of his girlfriends do, Rocky included. But that boy, and it's really funny that you mentioned this, that James has there's supposedly, allegedly, a history with Logan, one of Lala's husbands, her gay husbands, that they would make out and that they would go and do naughty things in the bathroom, even at Sir. And Logan, they showed a shot of him in this episode. He was there at Tom Tom when James was playing.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes.
so maybe there's some behind the scenes bisexuality.
There sure is. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty allegedly, but it's pretty confirmed.
And also, there are no straight men in California.
Mm-mm.
For like you, I will definitely say, like, I don't know how I feel about it just yet, but there are definitely, like, most men out here way more open, where it's like, oh, Oh, and not even just, and even the straight men, even the men that stay there straight, they're like, yeah, I'm straight, but it's 2 a.m.
No, when James is blackout, I don't think it matters. But I also think that that's because in his heart, um,
And
it
pussy.
doesn't matter. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like deep down, and I think he's not maybe willing to be honest with himself in that way. But I am glad to hear that he's off the sauce again because he did have a respite, as they say, last season. But he's a hot mess, and he should not be drinking. He's already shown, like he's already like he needs a hiatus indefinitely. So we'll see how he does.
I
But I do hate that he's the main. I do.
And that he is one, the new girlfriend should be very, very concerned how upset that it's the next year and you're still worrying about Tom having an affair with your ex.
Hmm.
Your ex, where you moved on. You already met somebody, you're in love, you moved in together, y'all bought a house together. Why, like the fact that another woman is on your lips, ain't no way I would embarrass myself by going on the show with that plot line where it's like you still pining for Rocky.
That girl has let me tell you, that girl is gonna ride it out because she is well liked. Everyone on the cast liked her. She is an astrologer. Apparently, I haven't paid too much attention to what she's slanging as far as in the spiritual world. But I honestly 100% think she decided to stick it out with him long enough to get a foothold to be on her own.
Okay.
I
I
do.
can I can kind of see that.
Yeah. No,
Um
I don't think she, yeah.
Also, I feel like that shows how threadbare James' plotline is,
100.
rather than and I feel like you should be leaning into your girlfriend, the sobriety, the maturity. You should be trying to get on that the Valley show, and like age out of this gracefully before your time. Be the young, mature one on a show like the Valley, which probably will only last 2 seasons. But
If that.
yeah, but be that one rather than trying to, hold on to this, are like trying to be a part of Scandival when you're not really a part of it.
I know. I really did think that his righteous indignation about the whole thing was vomit worthy because I'm like, you are no angel. You have no right to be yelling at them. You are just as much of a piece of crap. We have seen you on TV getting into like a physical altercation with Kristen, your ex. Like, you literally spit on people. Like, but that's the thing about Vanderpump Rules is that none of them can stay on a high horse for very long. They all rotate, except for Katie. Katie is just judgmental and angry.
Oh God, Katie, the fake Neve Campbell.
Yeah, I know. I know, right? She really is digging deep into that look.
Whatever
Um,
you're eating, it better not make you sick. You found something on the floor. I hope it's a piece of chicken.
let me tell
Probably.
you.
Yeah, it's a chicken. Yeah, it's a chicken. Oh my God. Did you eat all those chicken bones?
Oh no.
Oh my God. Well, you seem fine. I sometimes forget also you're a dog. I know you're not supposed to do these things, but you can do these things. Like if you were in the wild, like if all the people were gone, you would be eating little rodents that have bones.
He is a little thief.
He's big enough to attack a chicken like he would. And he'd probably pick at a carcass.
Sounds like it.
I'm sorry, I got off topic. He scared the hell out of me.
That's all right. I have this. I have a husky named Tinkerbell. We call her Tinky, and she just the other day snagged a piece of pizza that came in, and there was a crust. Only apparently she wasn't into the crust on the ground.
Oh my God, that's like a fun
Yeah, like a little kid.
that's a fun memory. I always loved crust. But what I used to do when I lived on City Island with my dad, God, I miss those days. I mean, just no rent, no rent.
Yeah.
I should have stayed. Uh, like, you know what? Is living on your own really that much of a flex? I don't know anymore. But we would have raccoons get into our trash. And finally, I said, you know what? If you can't beat them, join them. So we left out some pizza crust, some like orange peels, banana peels, like just like some compost. And we
Hmm.
left that out for them, and they stopped going in the trash.
There you go. Beat him. Well, Bronx.
So, and then, well, no, now I've started putting the trash high so that he can't get into it.
Yes. Get it together, Bronx. But, I mean, listen, we're getting the gang back together. We know when this was filmed, we know this was during a time where, like, they were all still kind of shell shocked from what happened. I think we're all Scandival weary at this point, which is going to be interesting to see what we tolerate, right? As they move on. I mean, I certainly can understand why Ariana is still like, I hate you, dude, get out of my face. But, like,
Wait, but that was to Tom Schwartz.
oh, well, yeah. I mean,
I I'm tired of them taking everything out on Tom Schwartz rather than being like, you know what? Okay, he's his friend, but it was not his business to tell his business. And we cannot be mad at him for that.
I do agree that making Tom the biggest like the second piece of poop is not um is not that fair because they all protect one another in that way, you know what I mean? Um I will say we did find out from Rocky's new podcast that Tom Schwartz did in fact know though from the beginning that the night that they hooked up in Tom's car or her car cuz he got locked out um when Raquel talked to him again like the next day he was at Tom's house. So Tom has known.
But that doesn't matter how long Tom knew because it wasn't Tom's business to tell. It wasn't his, like, I mean, it wasn't Schwartz. Let's say Schwartz so that everybody can keep it
Right,
straight.
right.
It wasn't Schwartz's business to tell. Like, if I tell you so, like when I told you Pete died, that's not your and you never told nobody till I told, and you were the first one that knew, but it wasn't your business to tell. And they can't be mad because the truth is, how often do them heifers have secrets? And they keep secrets because they're like, it's not my business to tell. I'm not going to tell you that. Like some people are like, look, I'm not going to tell you she's having an affair, but I want you to have a conversation with her, but I'm not going to say that because it's not my business to tell.
Yeah, like if my best friend, and they're codependent best friends. They own businesses together, and that's multiple now because they have their gig at Tom Tom together, where they're the face of that restaurant, and Schwartz and Sandy's. If my best friend was doing something, then you're right. I would not expect my lesser friends to look at me and expect me to tell them. Now, I definitely think that you have some friends, right, that they're not your besties, but you really care about them. And you're like, I will not go and tell your business, but I will not lie about your business. And if somebody asks me directly, if I know anything or something going on, I will not lie for you. I just want you to know I'm not comfortable enough, ain't with it, whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? So there's various levels.
Exactly. Like, don't tell me, or I'm not going to lie for you. I'm just going to tell them you need to have a conversation with them. I'm
Yeah,
not getting involved. And
right.
and I'll pull a I'm not getting involved. Go talk to them. Why are you coming around to me trying to get me in business that I shouldn't be in? But and that's another thing. Why are you going to the best friend? Go to the source. Tom is the one. Tom Sandoval is the one that was cheating. That was not Schwartz's penis to get erect to put in Raquel to do anything with. Those were not Schwartz's decisions. So you want to be mad at Sandoval, be mad at him all day. But that's not Schwartz's business to tell, no matter when he knew. What was he supposed to do? Go run over you and gossip? And then the truth is, and here's another thing, you girls, well, I'm sorry, you grown gray-assed women. You ain't seen girl in a decade. You 40-year-old women wouldn't have respected him if he had bumped his gums. You wouldn't have been the bastion of friendship that he needed. You wouldn't have been his cackling hens. You would have cast him aside still because you like, well, shit, if you gonna tell your best friend's business, what you gonna do with us? So he was in a no-win situation, and I feel he did what a best friend would do. I'm not telling your business. It's not my business to tell. I'm not getting in your relationship like that.
He is very conflict avoidant. He is. So expecting him to like open this can of worms on anybody, that's not his personality.
And also, what would he have done? Like, what was he truly supposed to do? Betray his best friend and run and tell Ariana that he's cheating? Is that what he's supposed? Then he'll never have a friend for the rest of his life because you can't hold water. Like, nobody wants a friend they can't trust.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's why I think Ariana wants nothing to do with Tom. I get it. I mean, Ariana was in Tom's wedding party as well. So I think she was hurt on the level of like, we're really effing close too. And you knew he was doing me dirty. And you just looked at me and like, you knew this whole time, like something. So I can understand why she's mad at him and doesn't want to talk to him. The rest of the group, though, let's be clear. None of you have any room to judge because every single one of the people in the group have lied when it suited them. Like Lala and James hooking up. Remember? They didn't tell Rocky right away. And you can't apples to apples any of these situations. You can only compare them in the sense of everyone has lied when it suited them. Everyone has forgotten their morals when it suited them. Everyone has done whatever the hell they wanted to do when it suited them to various degrees of horrific repercussions. They've all done it, including Lala, who's now crying about being a mistress. You know what I mean? Like, so everybody, that's where I feel like they do need to stop doinking all over Tom like they have a right to, because he literally didn't tell his best friend. Not only that, but like he was also like, there's also production going along with their plot line. You know, we can't ever forget that this is now a work and business conflict in multiple ways. He's also in business with Tom, and they hadn't even finished the bar yet.
Now I feel bad for Schwartz because he is getting so much of the brunt of someone else's actions.
Yeah, and the restaurant too, because a lot of people when it first opened, they were going in there drunk, they were graffitiing in the bathroom, writing like Tom is, you know, all kinds of stuff. Um, they were giving the staff a lot of grief, which is, you know, unfair, but you know, that's another reason why I think Tom felt very trapped in the situation, you know?
Yeah, he is trapped. He's financially trapped. He is trapped by the show. I mean, his life depends on the ratings. And this Tom Sandoval situation being handled well, because if they don't save him, their business will tank.
They have so much invested in the new business venture that they started because it was horribly
Funded.
well, yes, but it was like extremely over budget, and it took way too long. It took like, you know, twice as long as it should because they really like messed around with, you know, lighting and decor and all of that stuff. Um but I do hope that they can bounce back because I don't like to. I mean, we are here to watch this show for our entertainment. I don't think that just because somebody has an indiscretion you don't agree with or that you're morally opposed to, you can go to the restaurant and like pull out a Sharpie and write in the bathroom. But, that's apparently, I don't think it's happening anymore these days. It was.
I do feel bad that the level of hate that both of them I feel have gotten is like it's been too much. It's been too much. It's that line crossed of okay, we're all hating him. You did her dirty. That
Hmm.
was foul. But it's like okay, let's take a step back. And you don't know him. You have no right to even get in the man's comments. But if you want to get in the comments, get in the comments. You can turn comments off and ignore them. But to go to someone's place of business, that's doing way too much. Like, if you
Yeah.
don't like my videos, that's fine. Then don't say hello. You have no right to come up to me and say, I don't like what you put out on YouTube. If you don't like it, you put that in the comments. And if you see me, you cross the street because I ain't going to hear it. Not I don't want to hear it. I ain't going to hear it.
Yes, because you are allowed to find me annoying. Like, you are allowed to not be into it. I totally get it. We're not all likable and we don't like all people. But if your comment is really super extra mean, I don't need to see that. I don't need to receive it. I don't. Just because I'm that annoyed, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's levels of which we feel entitled to throw our whatever we've got inside of ourselves that we just want to lob at somebody, right? Um, but, at the same time, I'm sure that they are now, especially with this new season, going to enjoy an upswing in business. Um, you know, so I'm glad that they're writing it out. But no, I mean, ragging all over Tom's going to get old. So, Tom Schwartz, I mean, ragging all over Schwartz will get old because, at the end of the day, he had a lot, and he had also had a lot going on in his personal life. And I will stand up for him in that way. His father was in the hospital, nearly died. One of his brothers had to was diagnosed. He has triplet brothers, and I believe that they are not fully. I think they're on the spectrum. I don't think they're fully functional without assistance. One of them had to go through chemo. One of them developed was
Oh.
yes, one of them developed a drinking problem that nearly killed him. That's how severe it got. So Tom was going through all of that, Schwartz, at the same time as all of this. So when he says, he goes, I just didn't really have it in me because, like, I literally had it happening all over. I really do feel for that. And the show did not properly give him credit for the fact that his family unit that's on the East Coast was in dire straits. Because they actually thought that he thought he was going to lose his dad at one point.
That
So,
I had no idea all that was going on. And
no,
people do forget, like, people have lives outside of these shows.
yeah, they were all too happy to slang on his three little awkward brothers when he was getting married to Katie. But when their lives are in danger and Tom is stressed out, the show's not like, too focused on letting us know about that because it's a buzzkill, I guess. However, I just think that that's why ultimately Tom was like, Tom Sandoval is ruining his own life. This is not good. But he's also conflict avoidant. I mean, we have a laundry list of reasons why Tom Schwartz behaved the way that he did. What if I were Ariana, would I feel betrayed by him? Sure. Would I be mad at him? Sure. But I still don't agree that the rest of the group can, look down their nose at him.
Especially because he didn't do anything except not tell you something that wasn't his business to tell.
Right. Yeah. And Raquel
And
said,
also, to your point, that's his business partner.
that's what I meant. Yeah. It was really like asking him to create a whole, yeah. There was a lot on him.
So there's no way. Oh, because then
Yeah.
that's messed up your business. Businesses, plural.
They were not in a position to separate business-wise either because of how deeply in debt they were before they even launched Schwartz and Sandy's. So Schwartz was not in a position to disengage from Tom Sandoval no matter what. And so if he didn't support his best friend who was messing up, but also too, and this may be conversation may be triggering for a lot of people who just feel like we're excusing stuff, but we're having real talk here, right? Because how many people do we know have been cheated on? This is not like this is the first time this has happened. We're just really genuinely examining how complicated it gets when you're on a show together, when you're in business together, when you're embedded in a situation that makes it really messy and complicated, right? But like, oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh well.
I mean, think about all of the YouTube couples
Oh,
that, okay, how are we going to separate? We can't necessarily let the audience know because this is our livelihood. We've got to figure out, like, are we going to get back together? Is this really done? How can we, consciously uncouple? Like Gwyneth Paltrow said. How can we consciously uncouple?
Yeah, I mean, or how can we like do it in the least amount of fallout, which is where, we just see Tom really trying to shuck and jive and connive in order to make this smooth transition. I remember what I was going to say now. That Tom Sandoval was telling Schwartz that he truly was in love with Rocky. Like that he truly was. So if your best friend, it's actually happened to me. I have a very close friend of mine who, while she was married, met a dude, a fellow yoga teacher. Look out in the yoga classes, everybody. And she fell in love with him and left her husband for him. Now they tried to do some weird version of like open marriage before she just straight up left, but instead of an affair, but it might as well have been for the damage that it caused. Do you know what I mean? But like, I know for a fact my best friend fell in love with someone else. You know what I mean? And it's not my life. And so I may look at you and be like, you should maybe do it a little bit more honorably. But I also like understand that like Tom probably thought, well, if he really is in love with her and they're going to be together, then this is going to become the new normal, you know?
And this relationship has been dying on the vine for a while.
Right.
The showmance has run its course. A new showmance is on the horizon. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we're kind of beating the dead horse about Tom Schwartz knowing, but that's kind of what we're going to be doing all season. I have a feeling. So, and he also, like, honestly, I really do think most of them are desensitized by the past of the things that they've done to one another and the things that have happened. Most of their righteous indignation is coming from the fact that it's their storyline this season. And that's the truth, especially Sheena, because that girl is a flip flop for a storyline through and through, through and through. And she's hanging on to this one like a placebo fetus. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? She's just, yeah. But that's what Sheena does.
Sheena, does Sheena's husband have a brother? Because Sheena's husband cute.
I don't know. He's back in Australia if he does.
I can get him a visa.
Listen, he's open to it, I think, because people have they've called him a payroll husband, Brock. Sheena didn't get that. She thought that meant that people were insulting the fact that she makes more money than Brock, and it was like, no, you dummy. It means that he's like with you because of what your fame and your, all of the stuff. Which could
exactly, the comfortable life.
Yeah, he likes being on the show. He likes being, fame adjacent. I guess he's going to be on the show more now this season. Lala was.
Exactly, which raises their household income. I'm sure
Hmm.
he gets a portion of the check. And then also the Instagram deals, the sponsorships, like that they're making money.
Yeah, she has a very active YouTube channel too because her sister was managing a big YouTuber, one of like Jake Paul's ex-girlfriends, I forget which one. So you know what I mean? So she's actually had kind of a structured branded YouTube. She does Sheena's vlogs, all of that stuff. She's been doing that since right before the pandemic. She really got that up and running. So but like that's Sheena. Sheena's a company woman. Do you get what I mean? Like if you look at Sheena's story arc on Vanderpump Rules in general, love her or hate her, she knows how to be a reality star. She does. She knows how to get into the mess. She totally takes on other people's stuff as if it's her own. Like, I know you had a temporary restraining order against you because of Raquel. I'd be mad as hell at her about that too. She did make the reunion difficult, but like, that's it. That's it. That's as far as it goes. You didn't get cheated on yourself. You shouldn't have any major trauma about this. Like, it's not the first time a friend has looked you in the face while they're lying about their fidelity in their relationship. So, but that's Sheena for you. And Sheena will befriend anybody she needs to stay on the show. So that'll flip flop real quick.
Well, I think we're going to get a good season out of them.
I mean, go ahead.
Oh no, you go on.
No, I would say I hope so. I mean, the fallout could be good or not.
It's you know what it is. They're on the cusp, like so many other Bravo. Well, actually, no, they aren't at a place where they need to recast. They aren't at a place where they're at a place where it's like this season can really give y'all another 5 or another 2.
Mm-hmm.
And also I'm going to focus on production this season because maybe Bravo needs more than anything. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This idea. Oh my mouth is watering. My head is exploding. It's just going like this to my brain. This idea. Can you hear me through the microphone? I'm going to give it to you ASMR style.
Yeah, I was like, I'm leaning in, even though you can't see it.
Instead of shaking up the cast, I think Bravo should rotate production companies. I think that would be very interesting. Different producers getting different sides, different vibes from the ladies. I would love to see Vanderpump Rules production. Oh my God, we got high minded. Oh my goodness, I'm holding the mic again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like imagine seeing Vanderpump Rules production on Housewives of Potomac. It would be the shakeup they needed because also I feel like and two taking the producers from the smaller shows to the bigger shows, let them get their feet wet. I feel like all of the housewives they kind of know how to produce themselves, so they will. But yes.
They can't do
Because
any worse than they are right now on Potomac. That's
they
for
can't
damn
do
sure.
any worse. And you know what it is? I feel like it would keep people like Giselle from having, oh, I got the producer in my pocket. It would keep that favorite shit from being played if every season it was like, shake up the production. And so, like, production comes in and it's like, okay, like, you've got like head production at Bravo that like kind of oversees everything. And it's like, okay, look, you got to do this, do that. Like, we want you to flush out these storylines, like, kind of give them some mission statements. But then I feel like it would be like, I know you've got to be able to trust your producers and whatnot, but you got to be like, look, Bravo hired him, and you're a professional. You're a star, right? That means you can get on set and deliver no matter who's behind the camera.
I think production needs the Housewives franchise production period needs a shakeup. So I don't disagree with you at all, because I mean, I think that honestly, that's what I blame for Atlanta. That's what I blame for Potomac. I mean, let's be real, Orange County is really not doing that great. Although I am looking forward to Jesus Jugs and Shannon now that we've got Slate Smiley 2 in the mix. I am looking forward to that mess. I am. But otherwise, a lot of stuff is stale. I think that Vanderpump Rules was started when these kids, when they were like literally, some of them were like 23, ranging, you know what I mean? Like they've grown up, and we now have 3 different restaurants. We have Something About Her. We have, which is still not open, but whatever, they could shoot in it. We have Schwartz and Sandy's. We have Tom Tom. Like, have them at their restaurants and their businesses more, and give us like interactions that way. You know what I mean? Because them still trying to party and act like a group of friends that like they're just not the same as they were.
True.
I mean, like them getting all together at the beach. It's like, you guys don't do that. I don't even believe that you do, you know?
Oh, one of the heifers that was on the show was saying, like, she got offered the valley and she didn't take it because she said, like, that's not my life anymore. She's like, for some of them,
Yeah,
that's still
racist
their
Stassi.
life.
That was
But,
racist Stassi.
you know, she's like, I don't hang out with them like that.
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure how Vanderpump needs to evolve quite yet. So I'm here, like, and besides, they gave us a hell of a season at the end, like you said. I could be okay with you kind of regrouping for a second, but you got to get it together after this season, because, like, I understand, you know, our expectations might not be reasonable based on the level of like trash reality entertainment satisfaction we got from the end of all this. I mean, I sat there in judgment and
It
just
was,
enjoyed myself.
ooh,
I did.
last season was so high drama.
Yeah. It was
It was
shocking because it was
so
like,
so high drama.
what? What is happening? Yeah. Yeah.
That a regroup season would be realistic in the storytelling, where it's like, you know what, honestly, I can see Ariana being like, yeah, I'm gonna have my long distance boyfriend, I'm not ready to really talk to anybody right now. Like, she really can take a season to be hurt, like,
Yep.
it, because that's realistic. Like, this is where it's like, oh, it's a reality show and everybody can kind of say, yeah, I do that, so I'm cool with it.
Yeah. I mean, here, 2 things can be true, right? Tom Schwartz wasn't wrong for not blabbing all over, but Ariana can still be really, really hurt that her dude cheated on her and that Rocky lied in her face, played in her face. You know what I mean? Like, you got humiliated on TV. Y'all are having talks about your sex life with Raquel. Meanwhile, she knows just how dire the situation is because she's been filling in. You know, you're allowed to be like, I am hurt this season. I agree. What are you other lumps gonna do now?
And that's such a great question. And it really, because like that's now it's kind of like Erica with the lawsuit.
Oh
It's
yeah, we
like,
got that
okay,
coming up, I guess. That confrontation. Did we see they're having a sneak peek of Erica talking to some of the victims?
what?
Yeah. Sorry, everybody. I think I hit a note that only dogs can hear. Yes, sneak peek. Erica. We knew that we've already heard about this, but it's coming up next episode. Erica is meeting with some of the victims and
In
having
Portugal?
they're back when they're back.
Oh, okay. They're back already?
I think they must come back sometime during this next episode.
God, they must have been there for 10 minutes.
Well, maybe I just saw a sneak peek released through Bravo. So it's either this episode or the one after.
Okay, maybe it's the one. I hope it's the one after, because damn, they just got to Portugal last episode, or am I crazy?
Uh Spain, they've been there 2 days now, 2 episodes? Or not. I don't remember. Listen to me. We watch so much reality television now. Look at where we're at. Everybody's on a trip. I know Married to Medicine ain't in Hilton Head yet. I know that Beverly Hills is still in Spain, but yeah, anyway, that is coming soon. Erica is having the sit down with some of the victims. And one of them asked her straight up, "Did you see the housewife and the hustler?" And she said, "Yeah." Anyway, we'll see that.
Well, well, well. I'll be live tomorrow.
Yeah. Listen, good TV is still afoot. Good TV is still afoot.
Traders is on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Traders. The tough thing with Traders is it's good, but I feel like there's never enough meat.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, but I'm like, ooh, it needs to be 2 episodes at a time. Like, I hate and also I hate how you never know who's murdered until the next episode, and it's like, no, give me the full story.
Yeah. Traders is kind of like light fare by design, that they are purposely leaving you wanting more, but they need to have like a B roll somewhere where like the in between scenes of them interacting, like we need some kind of like some Big Brother footage where we can see some more.
Yeah, like what are they eating? The flight's over there.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know, like the moments where they're like resetting up a scene or something like that, and people are off to the side and someone's catching them or something like that.
Oh, for a split second, I thought about going on reality TV. Nope. Would I ever got I could see myself doing a show about homes. But even then, I don't know.
You know,
I think about a show like Traders. Like I don't think I could do Big Brother. That's too much. That's too much farts. That's just
yeah,
too much
really, right?
other
I don't
people's
want
farts.
that. Or Sharts if you're Lamar Odom, because apparently he did S the bed.
Oh Lord. See, I'm like, I would never want to be away from Bronx for that long. Um, so I don't know if I could do it. But there's part of me that's like, maybe I could do like Traders. I feel like Traders would be fun with the mix of like reality stars and YouTubers. When are they going to start using YouTubers as freaking celebrities? We are just as famous and influential.
Well, I think they're trying to do that already, but I think in some ways they've maybe picked the wrong age demographic, because remember, I can't believe I'm just blanking on her name. The girl on Atlanta that hooked up with Drew, um that was that big old, she was a YouTuber. The one that supposedly hooked up with Portia and
Oh,
stole.
Tanya. Or wait,
No,
no,
wait,
not
Tanya,
Tanya.
and then the other one. What was the other one?
Not Fallon.
Nope.
Toya.
Thank you. I was like, I don't know what I wanted to say, but not that name, not the right one. She was a successful YouTube. Well, I don't know how successful, but that's the area that she came from. And then it kind of goes back to the Monica thing too, where we're like dipping into just the social media. area in general. I guess they're kind of two different animals at the zoo.
I mean, but she was oh, I could do the circle. I could now the circle I would do because now I would have to ask them about the food though. I would
That's
say my one caveat, and this is apparently what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. Uh my one caveat is I have to either be able to like order from places that I want to order from, or like I will pay for my own groceries. Just like I need Hellman's mayonnaise, I need some
hmm
eggs, I need some white bread, I need some turkey, mustard. Like as long as I can have like some scrambled eggs in the morning and like I can eat my own food that I like, and like I'll make it myself. I'm not that fussy. Or if it's like, oh, we don't have, cooking facilities, you can kind of only order. I'm like, one, I'm gonna need some snacks so I can have something in the middle of the night. Like food is gonna be my biggest issue. As long as the food situation is okay, I could do the circle, and that's like a fun, positive game. And everybody's like, falling in love with people every 5 seconds. So it's designed for those with ADHD. So I'm like, oh yeah, that might work.
Well, you'd be perfect because you're like a part of the culture in that way. Do you know what I mean? Like as a content creator, as a commentarian, like it is designed, I think, that way. I think I'd be on Antiques Roadshow. I think that's my speed of reality television. We go see if something dusty I got in the basement is worth a lot of money. That's that's my speed for me.
Well, oh, you know what? Also, I could do a reality show trivia, but that's not a reality show.
It's more like a game show.
I could do a game show host, or I could even participate with like reality show trivia, where like as long as you feed me, I'm okay.
hmm Yeah, but I mean, like, to be on a show where they are purposely messing with your life, because if there's one thing that we can say about reality shows, like that, where people go on like Bravo, your life is manipulated, like literally for a storyline. So it's going to be messed with, and not all in a good way. There's no escaping negative impact.
There isn't. There really isn't. And it's
No.
also the fact that like how it affects your real life. Like
hmm
I mean, even like me at my minute level, like I've gone to like an after party, and I was actually there, and one of the drag race girls was there. Um and so I was like, oh my goodness, I've seen you before. You float around town. And we've had some cute little conversations. And then everybody was like, oh, Alex Rodgers is here. Oh my goodness, it's Alex Rodgers. I was like, what the like I'm just trying to chill. Like I didn't even like I forget like I like living in San Francisco because sometimes I forget that I'm like, oh, you're something of a known person. And because I do drag race reviews occasionally and I cover the housewives, I was at a party full of gays and the gays were like, oh yeah, we do know you. And it was like, oh, well, thank you. But it was also weird because then I felt like I was at work.
Yeah, I would imagine that you'd like it's a whole different lens, huh? That you can't escape.
That you exactly, it's like, and then like people that didn't know me were looking me up, or also like you from this side of the lens, you see somebody say, oh my god, that's Alex Rodgers from YouTube, and then you see it like I literally watched it spread across the room like a fire. Oh my god, is that Alex Rodgers? Who's Alex Rodgers? Like you watch the whiz buzzes start to happen. That's what I call it. The whiz
Yeah.
buzzes start to happen, and you see the change and the energy that
Mm.
shifts when people realize, oh, you may be quote unquote somebody.
Mm. Yeah,
And I've had it happen enough times to where I've noticed, like, oh, like if somebody, if one of my friends is like, oh, yeah, that's my friend Alex Rodgers, he's, this and that, then, or, a fan comes up and asks for like a picture or something, it's like,
Mhm.
oh. Oh, it's that moment of, oh, I don't know who you are.
Yeah. Listen, and you can attest by what you've experienced, right?
On a minute level. So I can only imagine when it's like, oh, you're on TV. Now I may be
Mhm.
broadcast on TV. 17% of my views are on actual TVs, but I am not. Well, I mean, I am on Bravo, so I guess.
You're actually on the BravoCon footage, by the way. If you go to Bravo on, uh streaming platform, you're in it. I've told you this. I've seen it.
So
You are on TV.
so I am on TV, and
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm not famous, and I will say this: I am not famous, but I am a known person and a person that works in the public.
100%. And you're like, you're you're able to support yourself. So you're a working professional in the entertainment industry. And we both, that's saying a lot.
Let's see. I'll secure a rich man by being on TV, sweetie. I think the point of being on TV is to be the rich man.
You gotta be, because look at how long marriages last.
Girl, you know what I want? I just want enough to take care of me and my dog. That's all I want.
Hmm.
All I want is just to spend the rest of my life with Bronx. You know what? I'm going to marry my dog.
That could be a TV show.
Marry when you realize, I'm giving them fun. Like, you know what? I'll entertain them. They're what men are wonderful. Men can be wonderful, beautiful creatures when they want to be. That's
Right?
the problem. They don't know how to be wonderful, sweet creatures when they don't want to be. If they could just get over that, if they could just learn how to, okay, sometimes in life you're going to have to grin and bear it like a period
Hmm.
and still smile, then they would really have it together. But God, if they in the mood, ooh, I love a man. But honey, only come around me when you in the mood.
Right?
Other than that, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'll say this: if you're down, come over and I'll make you some dinner and I'll try to make you feel better. I'll at least let you know somebody cares about you. Because
Hmm.
men don't know how to lean on someone. We're not taught that. Also, a lot of men are idiots.
Mm.
A lot of men are idiots.
Tell it
So
on the
I've given
mountain.
up. So it's just going to be me and Bronx, and I might get two more.
Might as well have a little family.
Exactly. Like, you know what? And they can't eat lasagna, but I can.
He
It's just going
probably
to be
will.
you and me and heart disease forever. I mean, like now I will only eat salads for my own enjoyment. I don't have to be thin for anybody anymore. You'll like me fat.
I'm sure, because he likes whatever's left over from what made you fatter.
He's like, when are you gonna make some more wings? So I
Yeah.
can get the bones. Oh. Yeah, you know what? Ariana should have just broken up with Tom earlier and gotten a dog. But then she wouldn't have had a storyline. She knew it was going to be a messy breakup, and she knew he would cheat. She waited for him to slip up. So shout out. But I just hope that by the end of the season, we don't have to be back. The cast doesn't have to be back in love with Sandoval, but I feel like the Sandoval hate, the Raquel hate, it's no longer interesting. It's no longer funny. And I think they all realized we were a little too old to go as overboard as we did.
Yeah, I mean, there was some heat at that reunion that was not justified because it didn't happen to them. That's for damn sure. Um, I'm with you. I'm here to see how they regroup. I hope it's more entertaining than Potomac. I think it will be. There is that storyline of that girl that likes Tom and Katie. There's a few other side eye moments that I'm buckled up, I'm ready to see, but I'm also ready to be moved on from Scandal Ball.
It's right,
I'm
right.
ready.
They have to find a way to put a nice little balloon knot bow on this.
Yeah.
Call it a damn day.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, tell the people where they can find you online.
Come and check me out on Instagram, psychic_ELB. If you'd like to get a reading, I've already done a couple for the Biffas, and they've been great. Say Alex sent you, and can get a discount. Check us out on the highs and the lows, where we kind of deep dive into certain topics even more than this. And Ray Ray All Day's channel, I do a drag race review.
All righty. Well, that was our little chat about the first episode of Vanderpump. And you're gonna come back for this one next week.
I will.
All righty. Well, we're gonna see y'all for this one next week. And I might pop back on for some hot topics and an open forum. But honey, the topics today was so cold. It was like fish soup. So I can't
Ooh.
promise I can even scare something up. But I'm gonna see you soon though for something. Bye, y'all. Brock said bye too.